And we are racing. Welcome to Driving Immersion and the Bahrain Grand Prix, the second race of our career with Red Bull. Just collided there with the Renault. We have damage turned off.
We're very low on fuel. Tried to shift up through the gears earlier. It may not save on fuel.
And as you just heard, we are starting the race low on fuel. I believe we are about 4 laps slow. So for the first stint in this race, we are going to be running in the lean fuel mixture, and you will see just momentarily that we are going to be very slow, and we're going to get passed by a few cars. Little wheel spin there. So here we are behind the Ferrari. We actually started the race in 10th place. We had a very poor qualifying period. So we are due to come in on lap 5 or so. And as you just heard, we will be making an early pit stop as we didn't get the switch out of our tires. So here's the start again from track view. So the reaction time was not too bad, but we did have a lot of tire slip. I keep finding tire slip in second, third, and sometimes fourth gear at the start. Here's another view of the start from the shoulder. So we actually did have very good reaction, but you can see there that right away 3, 4, 5 cars get around us, starting in 10th place. 6 now. If the Toro Rosso can make it, nope. Back to the race now. This is the stars are going away fast. That is the Renault behind us. I believe that is Roman Grosjean. And this is the point where we are suffering from a lean fuel mixture. We're not able to get away, and there's actually a lot of places where he's trying to get around us.
We're approaching the pit window. We'll be on the mediums.
No DRS yet, otherwise he would have been able to get around. There he is, right under our wing. DRS. Yes, we were getting a warning about the tire wear, and the story behind that is that we started the race with a set of worn qualifying tires from the second session, and we were trying to save them for the very last attempt on the third qualifying session. So we kept them on instead of changing on to new reds for the third session. And the reason for that is we thought that we would have... So still running on lean. We're going to run lean on the reds. we thought that we would have the full time during the third qualifying session.
Understanding that they can't go that fast anyway.
But it turned out that at the beginning of the session we had a failed system that required repair, and that took about 7 or 8 minutes to fix. So we only had probably about 5 minutes and 30 seconds to qualify, and that only gave us a couple of good laps to turn in. So we ended up being last in the third qualifying session, and that's how we arrived at 10th. So here we are riding with Sebastian Vettel. He was actually starting behind us, but he did get around. Now he's up to the Renault and the Haas. Back riding with us in the 66.
Turning it too late.
We're still running on lean fuel, and you can see that the Alfa Romeo is giving us a good challenge with his teammate right in tow. Tries to get by, but he can't quite make it stick. And I get to live another lap. So you can see this is a night race. I think they do that one for the ambient temperature, as this is in the middle of the desert, and two because the majority of the audience is in Western Europe, so this would be their prime time.
Very good on the entry.
So even though these are worn tires, they are actually not too bad, but they fall off almost immediately. I think after lap 3 we start seeing a big decline. Here we are for our pit, and this is lap 5. There is no refueling in Formula 1, so all you see are tire changes or
2.467, that's just about right.
repairs. So that pit stop was only 2.4 seconds. As we come out again to a clear track with a new set of tires, so hopefully we can make up some time here. We are still running on lean fuel mixture.
So we need to get about 25 laps out of this set.
Here's a view from the helicopter. You can see that it's a very well organized track, a lot of space for runoff. Up the back straight with the DRS section. That was turn 13, and we come up to 14 here, and it's actually very slight kink that creates turn 15 that will open up to the straight. Here we are riding with my teammate in the other Red Bull. At this point, he is in first place with a Ferrari and a Mercedes in tow. Here the Ferrari takes a dive. But he can't quite make it stick. He takes another dive here in turn 14, and still he can't make it stick. Oh, he does. Okay, down the main straight, past the start-finish line. The Mercedes actually has a very good jump. With the DRS now activated, he gets by Max Verstappen in the other Red Bull, number 33. The over-the-shoulder of Max Verstappen.
So we're almost at our fuel delta. A couple of more laps of this, maybe. And then we can go to normal fuel.
Back to the 66. Again, we've been running on lean fuel mixture for the first part of this race. It's already lap 8. Riding here in the Ferrari with Charles Leclerc, looking back at Valtteri Bottas in the Mercedes, and further back there, the third in line is Max Verstappen in the number 66 Red Bull Honda. Down the main straight, the Mercedes has a good pull, and he gets around using DRS with the Mercedes closely in tow. Nordo pass here, so I think Charles is just holding back. Coming onto the tight sections. That was turn 8. Turn 9 is this, well, we missed it. Back with the 66. Turn 1. Still racing by our own lonesome. But it's a good time for us to make up some good laps.
So we are making up a little bit of time, although not a lot.
On board
Okay,
with the
we had our
66,
fuel
you can
delta.
see that
We're going to start running on standard mix now.
you can see that our fuel load is now green, and that indicates that at this point, at this rate, we have enough fuel to finish the race. Riding with the Williams just ahead of us We are still in last place after that first pit stop, as no one has stopped yet for the pits. Back at the front with the Ferrari and Charles Leclerc. There we are again at turn 14, and right about there is about 15. Down the main straight, past the start-finish line again. And this time the Ferrari has the DRS open and has a good pull, and gets by the Ferrari. Sorry, the Mercedes gets by. Still the Red Bull's in the picture. Not doing too bad. There they are through turn 8, the very tight right-hander. Very easy to lose grip there as you try to accelerate out. Turn 10 is a very sharp left-hander that falls away. Again, that opens to a straight with a DRS section, so it's very important to get your car corrected before you exit. And we are riding with Max Verstappen here. You can see the Mercedes and the Ferrari are kind of getting away a little bit. Another back and forth between the Ferrari and the Mercedes. Turn 4 here. It's 5, 6, 7, and then the very sharp turn 8. At this point, it's still hard to see if the Ferrari is better at accelerating or top speed versus the Mercedes. Here, the Mercedes is a good tow into 14. And is just in line for the DRS zone, so he will activate his wing and get by the Ferrari. Nope. Ferrari sticks in. It's still a race. And Valtteri has to back down a little bit to get the Ferrari through. But this is a very good race between our leaders. Neither one is really getting away. However, as you can see that the Red Bull of Max Verstappen is just disappearing in the background. At this point, I believe it's lap 11 or maybe 12 for some of the other cars. So the red tires, which would have been brand new for the front runners, are going to start wearing. Back with the 66, lap 13 now.
Our gap to the car in front is 6.7 seconds.
Nobody stopping?
We are still in last place, as nobody has stopped yet for their first set of pits. And you can see there I'm not doing too much work with the ERS, as we're not really racing anybody at this point and nobody's close by. Just make sure that I have it on high or overtake on the long straights. And then usually through the twisty parts here, we have it on low or sometimes off if we run into very low rates. Again, turn 8, very easy to overpower the rear tires. Over the shoulder with the 66, you can see there's a McLaren up ahead. And I believe they are first in the pits.
First stop at 15.
That is Carlos Sainz. So he will be taking off the reds and putting on the yellows. I believe the yellows are considered soft tires. The reds are super softs. And the yellows, or the soft tires, while not as grippy as the super softs, will last a lot longer on the track. There's a 66, also with the soft tires. A little lockup to vaporize the tire there a little bit. Coming into turn 10. And now we have caught up to the Williams, who hasn't stopped yet.
Not enough.
So here we'll be using our ERS
For the mediums, car behind on the medium tyre.
to get by. No, we won't, as the Williams is slow enough. And we get a good tow into turn 1. Very tricky turn 4. And the tricky part about turn 4 is that it's actually an early apex turn, but it looks like a late apex. Turn 10 again, I always got to make sure that I start off in second gear to avoid wheel spin. That is Lewis Hamilton trying to get around Perez. And I believe Hamilton has Vettel just behind him in the Ferrari. Yep. So this will be an interesting race between the three, as Perez doesn't usually like to give up. Back riding with the 66, we're still behind the Williams and not making too much ground. No, this is the other Williams now. Can't quite make out who it is. There he is. He goes into the pits and we get by. Here we are with the Haas just coming out behind us. That looked like Grosjean with the red helmet. So we did get by, and those laps where we were by ourselves did benefit us. A little more tire lockup. I believe he is on a second set of reds, and that's why he's very good here in the tight and twisty sections. Even though he just came out of the pits, he's going to have definitely more grip than us. Down the main straight, here we are with the Haas right behind us. And if he was in the DRS zone, meaning that he was within 1 second behind us. He didn't get by on that one. He's really making use of those reds. He's able to stick with us. There he is. He just activated his DRS wing, and you can see that he's able to catch right up to us, even though we had a very poor jump out of the corner. Right on our bumper here, or under our wing. Riding here with the Haas, and he's right behind us into turn 14. Turn 15. Down the straight, and he should be able to activate his DRS. And he is slowly making up the ground, getting faster and faster. Not fast enough. You can see there that we did lock up our tire though. One more try with the DRS. No, we can't make it stick as we jump in.
Using up a lot of tire to race with that car.
Well, that lockup cost us a lot, and he was able to get by in the corner. He's getting away pretty well. I keep having a lot of lockups as I'm doing as much as I can to stick with him. But now here we are in the straight area, straight and open areas, and I should be able to make up a little bit of ground. I do have DRS, and I am making a little bit of ground, definitely not enough. So I gotta make sure that I have a very good exit here. Again in the DRS zone. I won't be able to get by him, but I can at least get nearby. Now he's going to do very well here in the tight and twisty slow zone. Turn 8. And yes, I'm using every bit of the track. And this time I'm close enough that I believe I'll be able to use my DRS in the main straight. There we go. I dive into turn 1, he comes in. And fortunately, damage is turned off. Another hit there. So again, this is where he's faster than I am because of the tires that he has. And there's a slide into turn 10. And I'm very slow to get back going, but at least it didn't go all the way around. I still do have DRS as I was within 1 second crossing the line. So that poor exit out of turn 10 really cost us a lot of time. Riding again with the Haas, looking back at the 66 Red Bull. Here we are again at the very tricky turn 10. Very cautiously jump out in second gear. We go very wide.
We pretty much burned off our excess fuel. We'll be back on target soon. Don't wait too long to turn the engine down.
Okay, I have about a half a lap of fuel extra, and I'll usually save that for any remaining battles near the end. So we're going to go back from rich down to medium. And there are times when the even the normal or medium fuel mixture burns more fuel than is available for the race. So even though you have enough fuel for the race, you'll always have to change the fuel mixture. But you'll use that fuel mixture to give the car a boost on the long straights when you're racing with someone or when you're trying to catch up just to get into the DRS zone. So you should have a couple of buttons programmed for changing your fuel mixture, as you will be doing that throughout the race. I've never had a race where I haven't had to modify or change my fuel mixture within the race or even within the lap. There are some races where you will be changing your fuel mixture from the part of the track that you're on. There we are with Lewis Hamilton and his first stop. So he went with the mediums or the white tires, and that usually indicates that he's not going to stop again, as he's going to try to finish this race on this set of tires. He's going to be just a little bit slower, but if he's made enough time with the first set of reds, he may be able to finish the race and have a good finish with this set of slower tires. But with our first set of yellows, we are going to be stopping again. Definitely we can't finish the race on this set. And we have about 20 laps now on this set of tires. So we'll be coming in relatively soon. I believe with the yellows there may be as much as 25 to 30 laps of life. That's my teammate Max. He also has a set of the medium tires, the white tires, and he will be finishing the race with that set. And we're watching Charles Leclerc here. Is he going to come in and change out of the reds? No, not on this lap. It's very possible that he did come in already and change into a second set of reds, but we didn't see that. This is Valtteri here, also on a set of reds or super softs. And at this point he is still ahead of Leclerc, but you are living at the end of life with the first set of reds if you have the reds from the start. Yes, 27 laps out of the super softs is a very long time. Maybe this time around he'll come in. And you can see Valtteri just disappearing there in the distance. Nope, didn't come in. So we have a race here between the McLaren and the Racing Point. And I can make out the Racing Point, but I can't quite tell. Is that I can't quite tell who's in the McLaren. Here's a race between the Haas and the Alfa Romeo. And then that's the 66 trailing right behind. So this is all happening just ahead of us. Okay, riding with the 66, if you look at the tire data, we have 50% wear in the rear. There's Magnussen on Raikkonen on turn 1. But Raikkonen's not going to give up. In the meantime, while these two are battling, we are coming up behind them in the 66. There's Magnussen with his DRS open, but there's not enough room to get by here. As close as he is, he'll have another chance on the back straight, or the main straight. Here we are, he's already passed Raikkonen. And the 66 is getting ever closer. Okay, here we are at lap 30. Again, we are looking at our tire wear and time to come in for the pits. Down to turn 14. Turn 15 onto the main straight. Riding on board with Raikkonen, the 66 has the DRS open. He's going to be able to get a tow and get by. Very close racing here amongst the three cars. It looks from the air that Magnussen has very good exits from the turns. over the shoulder again to close off another lap. DRS open. All the way down to 1 and 2 again. Carefully accelerate out. Second DRS zone. We ran a little wide into turn 3. A lot of skid mark going into turn 8. And if you look closely at the steering wheel,
Lost a lot of time there.
we're not too far off from our fastest lap. Looking back from Magnussen's car, you can see that Kimi has faded off in the back. Here's Magnussen, he's coming in for his pit stop. And seeing as how he's coming in with the reds, so he must be on his second set of reds. Going on to the softs now. And that was Raikkonen as well in the pits. He's going on to the soft as well. So everybody is in line to finish off with their tires. And I decided to go just another lap while I have a clear track ahead of me.
Understood. Stopping this lap.
Looking at our tires again, the left rear is 60%. The right rear is 50%.
Still going fast.
Yes, if you can see the timing there on the steering wheel, it's in green, so we are above our fast time for the sector, or the lap. Little bobble there. Here we are, pit limiter.
Last stop.
And we're gonna get another set of yellows or soft tires.
Go, go. You'll be racing on the exit.
.467 again.
That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops.
So lap 34 or 57, we're gonna need 23 laps out of this set. And that's something that we're gonna have to consider when we are racing with someone. I believe that up there is Giovinazzi on the Alfa Romeo, and another Haas battling with him. This is now the race between the McLaren and the Racing Point. McLaren comes in. And this should be his last stop as well. So right now we're kind of discovering who's had two-stop strategies. And that would have been Lando Norris in the McLaren. There we are in the 66. Again, we're behind Magnussen, which is right where we should be if everything turned out right through the pit stops. And this time he has maybe a second or two ahead of us. As it turns out, Raikkonen is also behind us. So you can see there is also on the steering wheel, I have extra fuel to burn. When I do catch up here, I'll be able to race with Magnussen. Just going to make sure that my laps are consistent. Turns 2 and 3. Or yeah, 2 and 3 are actually complicated as you come out of the very sharp turn 1, as you're accelerating as hard as you can, but you are turning at the same time, so you have to be careful. Here we are going into 8 again. Very slow, sometimes in first gear. This is 9. This is 10. Not quite in the DR zone yet. There will be 2 lights on the steering wheel, that 2 green lights on the steering wheel that will light when we have the DRS activated. ERS is now at 3, which is high. When step 2, it is at medium or normal. 4th gear exit out of 15 ensures that you don't spin the wheels. And right now, we have just run our fastest time for the race. I dive under Magnussen, and it looks like I've cleared him. Yep. 20 laps to go. And through this twisty part, you can see that I have my ERS turned off to 0. So the Haas is still within striking distance, and we are pretty much the same wear on the same set of tires. Down the main straight. And 19 laps to go. Little locking up there, but the goal here at this point of the race is to save the tires. "20 laps to go" is a long way to go on a set of bad tires. I'm kind of running away now from Magnussen, and I don't know if he's conserving more than I am. But he's definitely out of DRS zone. So again, he has to be within 1 second behind me in order to operate that DRS wing. I believe Lando Norris is the car in front of us, and he's our goal at the moment. Into turn 8. We just saw him disappear. So if you've noticed in turn 10, I go down to first gear just momentarily, and it's to give a little bite to the front tires. As we are going very slow, you can't count on downforce to hold the car down. And I use the transfer of weight by downshifting. And again, it just gives a little bit of bite to the front tires, but not for too long, because I have to start off in second gear so that I won't spin the tires coming out of turn 10. So the timing on the upper right of the screen, you'll see that I had 2 reds and 1 green. Those are the 3 sectors of the track. So in that display, I was slower than my fastest time in the first and third sectors, but my second sector was in green, so I was faster. Here we are looking back at our teammate Max Verstappen from the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc. Down the main straight, you can see that the DRS is open on the Red Bull Honda, but it's just not enough to get through. I believe that was a Mercedes in the front of the Ferrari and the other Red Bull. Couldn't tell exactly who it was, though. So at this point, I'm 2.4 seconds behind, but on the long straight there, I cut some of that down. But I am catching up to Lando Norris. Fast sector one there. Back again with our teammate. And there is a car up there that's disappearing. Can't tell which Mercedes that is, or if it's a Mercedes for sure. Looks like another half a second or so that we may have been able to make up. So in the very background there, you can see Magnussen and Raikkonen coming through. We've either made a lot of gains or they've made a lot of losses, but here we are right behind Lando Norris. It appears he's actually pretty fast in the twisty turn areas. Not yet in his zone. Lap 43, we are now in 7th place. I believe our goal for the race this weekend is to finish 6th or better. We have also another goal that requires us to finish 3rd or better within the first 3 races. And this is the second one, so unlikely that we're going to be able to make it to 3rd, even with more than 10 laps to go. But there will be another race after this. I just got to get in within 1 second through here, and then by the time we get to the straight, I can make up some time. It appears we have a slow first sector. That's more than 1 second. Yep, no DRS yet. There's a timing or scoring line back there before the turn into turn 14 that calculates if you're within 1 second of the car in front of you. We're actually in DRS now, And again, those are the 2 green lights on the steering wheel that indicate that the rear wing is open. This is the area that he's good, but you can see there that he's not able to get away right now. Maybe his tires are starting to fade. Come on. If we can keep this distance until we get through 14 and 15, we may have a good shot at him through the main straight with our DRS open. Here we go, very close now. Seems we made good time through turn 13, right under his wing at this point. Okay, DRS is open. He's got a tow. And we actually get around. I come in and close the door. And make the pass. Very textbook indeed. He had a chance there as he was in the back with his DRS open. But I took the lane away from him and he couldn't come next to the car. Now I'm making up a little bit of space between the 2 cars. Yes, that's my custom helmet. If you're wondering what the dark spots on the top are, those are actually paw prints. On behalf of our 2 dogs. So I'm in 6th place. Lap 46 of 57. Let's see who else is ahead of us. I don't see anyone. So until we see someone else in front of us, our goal here is to keep Lando Norris behind us. There's a car that just shot through the screen at the top. Couldn't tell who it was, but that is the nearest car in front of us. Looks like maybe 8 to 10 seconds. Very slow lap that lap by 0.6 seconds or 0.6 of a second, which is totally all right. Okay, another slow first sector. We're gonna have to gather it up here if we are even thinking of getting close to the car in front of us with only 10 laps to go. But with only 10 laps to go, your goal here is to keep the car straight, keep it on track, avoid any spins. We actually have a good reserve here in the ERS. Maybe we could consider burning some of it off and get a little more speed. Okay, so
Teammate ahead is 50.0 seconds.
we were a second slower on that last lap. And as if you just heard, we are 15 seconds behind Max, who is up there with 1, 2, and 3. So 4 and 5 are less than that, just ahead of us. But I still don't see a car in front of us. Nope, still don't see a car. Yeah, again, at this point of the race, we're just trying to make good, steady laps and avoid any spinouts or accidents. There we are. Another look at the timing on the steering wheel. We are a second behind our fastest lap, so we're losing time. 1.6 seconds behind now. And I've got to start burning off some of that ERS. There we are, up to 3.
Gap to car in front is 18.7 seconds.
Doesn't look like I'll be able to make up time on Perez up front. So I'm just going to make sure that I've got room behind me. And the McLaren is sticking.
good laps. So we have our ERS up to 3 at one point, and you can see here that it's keeping us above our fastest lap. Now we're at 2, or normal. Three again on the main straight. And it looks like we have a fastest time right there. But I believe we equaled it. I couldn't quite see. I think it said 0, 0, 0, which means we achieved the same lap time. Now with 6 laps to go, you can see that I have 0.86 extra laps of fuel, and I got to turn that up and burn some of it off. Again, at this point, we are too far behind Perez in the racing point, the pink car. So we are racing with Lando Norris, who's behind us, but we've got a good distance, so we don't really have to take any risks.
Six more laps to go.
Here we are with, I believe this is
Still there.
Butler, Devin Butler, our rival. And I believe he may be number 4 or he's got to be number 4. Yep, he's got to be number 4, and the pink car that you saw there in the background, that should be Perez. So this is where we're expected to be, is challenging him. Right now we are way behind. But considering that we had to start the race, at least the first third of the race.
Well, I'm reducing my time now, but there's not enough time in the race to be able to make it up to Perez.
Yes, considering that we had to start the first third of the race with lean fuel mixture, we're doing actually pretty well. If we didn't have to run lean, we may be up here right now with our rival. No, that says P1. So if this is Butler, he is in the lead. Yeah, Hamilton is in 4th, and our rival Devin Butler is in the lead with with Charles Leclerc and the Ferrari chasing after him. And here we are in 6th place. So with 4 laps to go, Butler turns in another fast lap. He's gone purple. So he's first. Second place is Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari. Third place is Max Verstappen, our teammate. Fourth place is Lewis Hamilton in the Mercedes. Fifth, of course, is Perez in the Racing Point. So if we finish here at this same place for this race, we will have scored points for 2 consecutive races, our first and second. And again, they are both scoring in 6th place. Both important points for the championship.
Okay, so I've lost McLaren.
There's the wear indicators on my tires. The rears are 40 and 30. The left rear seems to be taking a lot of punishment on this track. And the rear tires are actually taking more punishment than the fronts. If I had more to go, I would probably transfer some of the brake force to the front.
So the tires last so much longer when you're not racing someone.
Just trying to turn in some good laps.
Plenty of fuel. Yeah, I don't know how he's taking off.
So over the shoulder with Lando Norris, you can see the 66 just disappearing off in the distance there. With just a couple of laps left, you're hoping for no mistakes. I think that if we would be able to run like this at the beginning of the race, we would be closer to the front, challenging. And the big lesson from the first 2 races is that strategy is important. However, I don't know how I ended up with a fuel deficit to finish the race. Maybe that's just how the car is and how the lap distance is designed. But there is a portion in the practice sessions which determines the fuel load for the race, and I believe I made purple on that one, so I'm going to have to check back and see how that affected our fuel load for the race. Certainly it's something that we're going to have to watch out for the next race and for upcoming races. But it's kind of similar to what you would go through in Formula One is that you learn along the way and improve and develop the car as the races happen.
Final lap.
Here's our final lap now. No one really challenging us, and there's no race in front of us. So we just got to finish here. And you can hear the fireworks in the background. The leaders are coming through. That's 71. That is Devin Butler, and he has won the race. There is Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari. He comes in second, with my teammate Max Verstappen in third. Here's fourth, Lewis Hamilton. There's fifth, Perez. With a set of white tires, he must have done a one-stop strategy, and for him it's paid off. And here we are in the 66, coming through 14 and 15 now. Bringing home some points. There are the fireworks that you could hear earlier. And that's the race. Yes, that's our rival, coming in first place. So after two races, we're definitely losing the rivalry. And the celebration, the podium that we can look forward to. We're going to continue to develop the Red Bull Honda and make it faster. Here are the standings. Butler did start in fourth. He did have a two-stop, but you can see there that everybody else between me and him only had a one-stop strategy. So he was very fast. There's my teammate. He was about 0.6 of a second faster overall, or fastest lap. Lewis Hamilton and Perez in fourth and fifth. Going through some of the highlights now. Here we are catching up to Norris. Checkered flag.
great work out there today. Let's have your thoughts. You gained a lot of positions during the race, didn't you?
Oh, it doesn't tell you which one you chose. Oh, it was a great race. The car was sticking to the track. Your air
Do you have any comments
department
about
will
the
notice.
collisions?
Do you have any comments about collisions? I don't think well, I did have a couple of collisions. It wasn't deliberate, but the car wasn't nimble enough to, oh, that's
You've
not
had
good.
experience with Devon's fast, aggressive style. Any advice for the drivers he passed today?
Go faster. Nope. Running out of time. Did I post a response? No, I did not.
Your old opponent from F2 had a great race. What goes through your mind when you see him up on the podium?
There's no denying his talent.
Appreciate your time.
So the responses there for the press questions actually have a little bit of bearing on your reputation with the team and your rivals. And you only have a certain amount of time to answer those questions, especially reading through them. There's no way to pause it. And you can see here that I am losing my rivalry to Max. It is 5 to 14, me with 5. We're going to get some resource points here. So now we have a total of 560, and we're going to... Oh, didn't get 600. Qualify third or better. And there's our standings amongst the teams. You can see there that I didn't gain any. Actually, I lost some to the Mercedes team. And I actually didn't make the requirements for the team as far as finish.
Excellent result today. Finishes like that will look good on your contract reviews. On to the
But at
next
least
one.
I scored points. Here we are reviewing our development, and you usually have to do that while you have points because it will usually take time between races to have those development processes come through to create parts or lessen the weight, improve aerodynamics and things like that. So that is the conclusion of the race in Bahrain. If you enjoyed the video, please give us a like or a thumbs up on Facebook or YouTube, whichever venue you are watching from. And perhaps consider following or subscribing and to get notifications of any upcoming events or races. Thanks again for joining us. We'll see you next time.